Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at possessive pronouns, how to use this and that and these and those, and how to use one and ones. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's get started with possessive adjectives. A possessive adjective is saying who owns something. For example, with this whiskey, we can say, this is my whiskey. So my is the possessive adjective. If I put it at the end, we would say mine. For example, this whiskey is mine. So there's always two ways of saying it. If you say it before the thing, we say my whiskey. And if you put it at the end, we say mine. This whiskey is mine. Okay, so the next one would be your. This is your whiskey. Or if we put it at the end, we would say this whiskey is yours. So this is the important thing to remember, that if you say it at the end, it's with the S on the end. This whiskey is yours. But if you put it before the object, there's no S. This is your whiskey. Now, sometimes lower level students, they get confused and they say, this is yours whiskey, which is completely wrong and sounds quite disgusting. So remember, this is your whiskey, or this whiskey is yours. If we say with his, we would say this is his whiskey, or this whiskey is his. It's the same because there's already the S on the end. His whiskey, or this whiskey is his. With her, we would say this is her whiskey, or this whiskey is hers with the S on the end. If it's with our, we would say this is our whiskey, or this whiskey is ours with the S on the end. If we're talking about your, for lots of people, we would say this is your whiskey, or this whiskey is yours with the S on the end. And lastly, with they, we would say this is their whiskey, or this whiskey is theirs with the S on the end. So always remember, it's quite easy. If you put it at the end of the sentence, it has the S on the end. If it goes before the object, there's no S. This is their whiskey, this whiskey is theirs. Now, what about if we're talking about someone's name? If I want to say Jacob, like Jacob owns this whiskey. It's really, really easy. You just put an apostrophe, and then an S. So you can say, this is Jacob's whiskey. If you put it at the end, it's the same. This whiskey is Jacob's. So with people's names, there's always the S on the end, and this is called the possessive S, in case you're interested in the grammar. So with Ryan, we can say, this is Ryan's phone, or this phone is Ryan's. It's always got the S on the end. Now, little interesting tip here. What about if the person's name already has an S on the end? Like Chris, there's already an S. So we would say, this whiskey is Chris's. So all you do is you put the apostrophe after the S and you say it like is, Chris's. Or another name could be Leoš. That's a Czech name. This is Leoš's whiskey. So if the name already ends with an S, just put the apostrophe at the end and say is, Leoš's, Chris's. Now, something fun about possessive adjectives is you can put lots of them together. For example, if someone asks you, like, whose dog is this? You can say, oh, that's my husband's mother's dog. Like it's the dog of my husband's mother. But we can put them together. My husband's mother's dog. And you can even get a bit crazy if you want. You can say, oh, this is my husband's mother's ex-husband's dog. It's a bit crazy. It's not very common, but it's possible that you can link them together as many times as you would like. So guys, that's possessive adjectives. I hope that's clear. Let's move on to this and that and these and those. These are called demonstrative pronouns, in case you're interested. Okay, so let's start off with this. This phone is amazing. So this is used for one thing when it's close to you. You can touch it, okay? This phone is amazing. If something is far away from you and you can't touch it, then we use that. So what do we have here? That sofa. So we can say that sofa is yellow. because it's far away and I can't touch it. If it's close and you can touch it, then we say this phone, this shirt. If it's far away, we say that sofa. Okay, so this is for one thing, this phone. If we have two phones, we would say these. These phones are amazing. So one is this and two is these. If it's far away, like we have some chairs over there somewhere, one chair is that chair and two chairs is those chairs. So those chairs are very comfortable. So just remember, guys, that if it's close to you, we say this for one thing, these for two things. If it's far away, that for one thing, and those for two things. Alright guys, so let's finish off with when to use one and ones. Let me give you an example sentence. Hey Jacob, would you like an ice cream? Oh yes, I would love one. And which type? Would you like a strawberry one or chocolate one? I would love a chocolate one. Okay, great. Would you like a small one or a big one? Big one, please. Now I have my big chocolate ice cream. Okay, so we use one instead of saying the noun again and again. So the first person says, would you like an ice cream? So we know we're talking about ice cream. So we don't need to say ice cream anymore. We can just say one. Would you like an ice cream? Yes, I would love one. It just replaces the noun, which is really useful when you have these very long nouns. For example, if you say, is there a government-funded hydroelectric power plant nearby? Super long. You can say, yes, there's one right there. It's just so much quicker than saying the whole noun again. So it just replaces the noun. So I can say the things like, Ryan, do you have a wife? And he can say,
yes, I have one.
Yes, I've got one. Don't you have one? Yeah, so one, it just replaces the noun. So when do we use ones? Ones. This is interesting. Let's look at an example sentence. Jacob, do you like dogs? Yes, but only small ones. Only small ones. So we use ones to talk about the type of something. So the first person says, do you like dogs? So I know we're talking about dogs. So we don't need to say dogs anymore. We can just say ones to talk about the type. Like, yes, I like small ones, or I like big ones, I like cuddly ones. You're talking about the type of thing that you like. So you can say things like, do you enjoy your English lessons? And you can say, yeah, but only the conversation ones. Only that type with the conversation, only conversation ones. Or with movies, say, do you like movies? You can say, yeah, especially romantic ones. I really like romantic movies. I love romantic ones. So use ones when you're talking about the type of thing. Alright guys, I really hope you like that topic. It's quite important to understand when to use possessive adjectives and this and that and these and those and one and ones, because we use it all the time in real life. So make sure to watch the video again if it didn't quite make sense and do the worksheet to practice using it. As always, you can check out the Speak Like Me app to learn all the vocab that I think you probably don't know, but definitely should know. And you can listen to the Speak Like Me podcast to get some advanced listening practice and to have a nice laugh with me and Chris. As always, the links for everything are in the description for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.